All right, peace, family. Good morning. We are live again. Dynasty Samir, Search for Guru, and I have Miss Nana Ashanti with
Yeah.
us, and we're just gonna finish up on our subject from last Saturday morning, which was colorism and African beauty standards. Let's get some more people in the chat room first
Mm.
before we get started. Nana, I'll be in New York next week. How far do you stay from like JFK?
Um, maybe like maybe like 40 minutes, maybe. If I'm at work longer, but if I'm home, maybe like 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Michael? Greetings from Kenya. Michael, how's Nairobi this morning? I know you guys were acting wild with all that election stuff. Hmm?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so where did we leave off last week? I think we were discussing Nana and Nkrumah and him marrying his Egyptian
Wife.
wife,
Yeah.
and I guess the objective was to unite West Africa and North Africa, but it didn't work out because. So
No.
let me ask you this: why did Nana and Nkrumah, and this is a little bit off subject, I guess,
Okay.
off topic, why did he get exiled? Like, what happened? I never really dug into that.
I mean, from what I have, like, what I can remember from like learning about it was his own people like ousted him, but everybody has so many different versions. But what I learned, what the party that he was in, the political party that he set up, that he did, they ousted him because they said he was getting a bit too arrogant and his face was all out there. He was the one who was leading the charge and he was like the popular one. And I think people, they had to oust him for his own they were trying to do it to put his humility in check or something. But what ended up happening was the people that he started with, they ended up being president. So I think it was a power thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, other people have other versions that it was the CIA who orchestrated that.
Probably, I would agree.
Yeah, people have that version that the CIA did that to, like, and they waved like the presidency or the prime ministership in front of his friends, and they like colluded to do that. So who knows what the truth was?
Okay, and then did Rawlings come in immediately after him, or who
No,
came?
no, no, no. Oh, Rollins. I don't think Rollins was even like a teenager then.
Oh, okay.
There were a bunch of army men who came after him. There were a bunch of civilians who were like prime ministers and presidents for like a year, two, and then they'll go out. Some of them ended up being killed. It was a whole thing. There were a lot of coup d'etats also. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
All right. So Nana marries. Her name was Fatima. Is that her name?
her name is her name Fat? Yeah, her name is Fatima.
Right.
Fatia. Her name is Fatia.
Fatima. He marries her.
Right.
Okay. Now their kid. How many? Do you know how many kids they had?
I
By
think they
chance?
had two kids. They
Okay.
had Sekou and Samir. Yeah.
Mhm. Now, and this is interesting because we were discussing this offline. So
Right.
in America, America is the only place, from what I've noticed, maybe places in Europe too, I'm not sure, where if you're mixed, it's called the one drop rule. We're the only country that I guess adheres or practices this one drop rule. But what
Yeah.
I find interesting is everywhere else they don't abide by that.
No, because it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. How are you going to say someone like Zendaya or Halle Berry or Jesse Williams? How are you gonna call them black? Like, they're obviously mixed, like they're biracial. And in Africa they still call them like half caste, which I know is offensive to Americans
Uh-huh.
because it indicates that you're not like a full-blooded something or you're not a full human. But people acknowledge the fact that they're mixed, and there's a whole like different category. Or in South Africa they used to call them colored.
Right. Well, they still
Right.
they still no, they still
Well, they
do.
still call them colored.
Yeah, they still do. I met a
That is so
colored
backwards though. But
when I was in Tanzania like a couple of years ago.
right,
I met in Zanzibar. She referred to herself as colored. She's like,
right.
I'm colored. I'm from South Africa. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I know they refer to them. Everybody has something, but I don't think we we don't say they're African alone, because obviously they are mixed with something else. So just have to acknowledge like the other part of them. I mean, I think the one drop rule is a really like racist like rule, and I don't know why African Americans especially still hold on to that, or still like, you know, implement it. Like if you have someone like Tay Diggs was saying that his son is not black but he's mixed, and people were like about to like roast him and stuff.
Yeah, I mean he's mixed. Yeah.
He is mixed. He's not black. He's black and white, you know, but I guess that's the thing in America. So
Yeah, because I know they were showing. Are you familiar with Grace Jones?
who?
Grace Jones.
No, I'm not.
Okay, Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so they were showing pictures of like some of Muhammad Ali's grandkids and Grace Jones' grandkids.
Oh, I know
And
Grace Jones. Bishop Jones' sister. What's his name? The singer, Jamaican.
the singer, right? Grace
Right.
Jones, the singer. Her, because I guess she married a white man.
Yeah. She has a biracial kid.
Right, and then her biracial kid married a white man, and her grandkid looks white.
Right.
But some people in America will argue that her grandkid is black.
Is black. He's definitely not black. He's like a quarter black. He's definitely not black.
Yeah, so I just find that interesting, and I
don't know why they did that, because Diners, from what I understand, the one drop rule was a rule that was meant to taint people, to say that you have a drop of black in you, so you're not going to get these benefits, like you're not a full human being. You know what I mean? That's what I gather from it. So why is it that in 2017 we're still like enforcing it? You know,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue, because I mean, when I bring it up and say, look, they're not black, they're mixed, they come after me. Like, for example,
it's like okay,
Puerto Rico.
Right.
So Puerto Rico, they have a lot of colorism issues going on.
Of course.
And a lot of these people Puerto Ricans who identify as white, a lot of them have, I guess, black blood in them. And so, but I'm like, look, they identify as white, so let them be white. Right. But you have people say, no, they're really black. I'm like, no, these
they're not black.
Like Mark Anthony, okay, is not black.
He's not black.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely not.
But they, wanted to have this argument.
I don't know. Is it because I always used to think maybe because the black population in America is not really huge, people like to claim people to make it. I don't know. I don't know what the intention for that. I mean, back then when it was implemented, I get the racism behind it, but now I don't get it. I don't know why it's still a thing.
Yeah, I never understood why we still practice this rule. Like you're mixed, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing.
Oh, well, definitely not. But I mean, how do you call it? Equating it to colorism. I feel like that rule itself is also giving the black community and Africans actually like a problem when it comes to the colorism we're talking about, because now you have a bunch of people who are biracial, and even in on YouTube in the natural hair community, a lot of black girls are always like having issues with girls who are biracial and the way their hair falls and things like that. They're also given like some sort of preferential treatment over girls who do have like hair texture like mine. Like the brands and the companies tend to give them a lot more like endorsement deals and a lot more sponsorships than they would give a girl with a hair texture like mine, because now we say everybody is black, so then they just see it, oh, here's a pretty black girl with a really loose girl and stuff like that. So I feel like no matter where we go, some way, somehow, we try to put some sort of European like beauty standards in there. Even when we carve out a place for ourselves like natural hair, we still have found a way to put some sort of European standard in there. I mean, now girls have a whole thing about the way your hair curls and the way it is. You have some Indian in you, and it's like everywhere we go, we find a way to oppress ourselves and dig ourselves into a bigger hole every time.
Yeah, especially the whole I have Indian in my family. That's another one that goes on in the black community that it's just like, look, man, there's nothing wrong with being black.
Right.
So
I just like feel like a lot of these things they have like anti-African or anti-sub-Saharan African
or
things in them.
anti-Bantu.
Exactly. It's like people want to be everything but from sub-Saharan Africa.
Right.
Like even when you look at people who say black people originated from like Moors or whatever, like I just like the undertone is that, oh, look at Egypt. It's like Egypt is up here and it's North Africa. This is where we're from. But if you say, oh, actually, like you're Ghanaian or for your Nigeria or you're something, they're like, no, that's not the history. The history is here. So now you're in Africa, but you don't want to claim that you have sub-Saharan African roots. Like it's just like reeks of just like anti-Africanness in a way for me. I don't know if I'm over analyzing it.
No. You're not. That's what the issue is. Like,
Yeah.
You're not over analyzing. It's just, they want to be everything black but African because I guess, or Bantu or sub-Saharan because they just feel it's not sexy or popular enough because of what's being pushed out there. No, you're absolutely right. So I know last week we left off on the whole Nivea controversy in Ghana. Anything new with that at all, or?
Well, actually, I have just seen one video from Hamamat, and well, I don't know if you know Hamamat, but she's on here on YouTube. She was like talking about it. She's gonna petition the government, so they like get rid of it altogether. So there's like a petition going around for people to sign, and the billboards are coming down. But I don't think they have pulled the product line yet. I haven't seen anything on that. But I hope that she's able to get to the Ghana government, and then maybe from then, because they already banned this product, so maybe they need to extend the languaging and the wording of that law, and maybe.
Well, they banned Nivea or just the skin?
No, they just banned product like any like a product with hydroquinone, like they just banned it. Yeah. But now we have companies like Nivea trying to find a smart way to market, so. Now they probably need to extend like the wording, the languaging, and make sure like they don't use those like certain keywords and stuff in advertising. And I hope she gets headway. So that's the new thing about that. I hope she gets headway.
Okay. So I know we also talked about, why Africans, like I said, I got right here, I got my shea butter, put it in my hair, use it for everything. Why Africans, okay, I would say successful Africans, or what's the right word? More affluent Africans don't just use this, but use all the other crap. Like I know we were talking about that as well.
Yeah.
But this is all I use.
Right.
I just use shea butter and sometimes cocoa butter. This is all I use.
Yeah. I mean, I think every African growing up, everybody used cocoa butter. It was like a thing. Mm-hmm. It was a thing that everybody used. And back then, the incomes were modest and families are trying to get by. So you see these big tubs of cocoa butter that everybody's using, big tubs of African black soap that the whole family like uses. But now with a lot of like people like leaving the country and seeing brands and doing that, people now have left these things and now they use other things that make them whatever. But I feel like the root of this is like it's still, for me, it's like it's a colorism issue. People that use I mean, because I know that like very rich like African women, a lot of them are light skinned. I'm not even exaggerating. And I feel like with the income that they're getting now, they feel like you being dark like this is not, it doesn't fall in the lines of someone who's rich. Like your skin shouldn't look like this, or it should be better, it should be whiter, it should be closer to that for people to respect. I mean, you can like Google like people like rich African women and just have a good day with that. You see that a lot of them start shifting towards like looking like lighter than they are, because, well, I mean, a lot of Africans think white people are rich, period. Like it's the funniest thing ever, but
yeah,
A lot of Africans associate, how do you call it? They associate wealth with being white. So when they start earning a lot of incomes, and that it's like, okay, this is how you do it. This is how you're supposed to look when you're being taken care of, or you're being like, you're earning like a higher income. People need to see you reflecting your skin, you know. So that's what it is. But I think for a lot of like normal people or regular people, the reason why they don't use shea butter is they think it's archaic, you know. It
No.
makes them local. Um, it makes them local, makes them not civilized, you know, that code word they like to use. They're not civilized enough. So I guess that would be the explanation. It doesn't make it a sound explanation, but that's what I can say about that.
Okay. What? So now, are people taught, like educated in Ghana, the dangers of using skin bleach, or is it just kind of like they're tired? They're just like, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway.
No, I think growing up, I heard about cancer a lot, and people do know. People do say that you're gonna get like your skin is gonna get red and stretch marks. But I did hear cancer a lot, skin cancer. People know. People are not crazy, you know. But it seems like something like cancer seems like something very abstract to them. You know, it's like it's not. People don't really get it as often as people in America would, or people in the Western world.
And it's the food,
It's
but
the
with
food,
all
yeah,
this
for sure. The food,
KFC
the
and stuff,
water,
all this KFC and stuff coming in,
yeah.
that might change.
I mean, I think someone is gonna have to do a study about that, because in the next decade or so, we're gonna have some problems for sure. We're gonna have some real trouble um with that. But yeah, people think it's abstract because when you say something like skin cancer, then again you have a lot of black people and African people thinking that black people cannot get skin cancer because of like melanin in our skin. But here you are like stripping it off and not allowing it to, you know, flow. So then yeah, we're gonna have some trouble. But people know, they're not stupid. They know what they're doing.
Another what I noticed also, a lot of these African artists use
Oh,
non-black models in their videos. I
oh
was
my
starting to
goodness,
notice
yeah.
that when I was watching, when I go to my favorite Senegalese restaurant or
Right. I see a
Ghanaian
photo.
restaurant, they'll show the music videos, and they're all shot in Miami, and they're all like Puerto Rican and Cuban girls and
Yeah.
light-skinned women. Has that ever been addressed? Like in
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think in the last video that we did, a guy wrote under the comments in your comment section about how a Nigerian music producer or something or director was casting for girls in Ghana, and he only said light skinned girls only, you know, and people like attacked him for that. You know, we have artists like Iyanya who also got in trouble for putting like a light skinned girl in his very popular video, very popular music that everybody was looking forward to the video. But then again, it comes back to just the way that some African Americans like say like you have Indian in your blood, and a way to get away from the fact that they're black, and they use a lot of light, a lot of these video vixens and music videos are light skin or mixed or something. It's the same thing. A lot of African musicians use very lighter skin tone girls for their videos because they think that's prettier. You know, that's the conception that being lighter is prettier. So it's definitely come up a few times, but I don't know if it's ever gonna change. If we start demanding it, maybe, but who knows?
what about weave? Like, I'm tell you a funny story. I was in Senegal,
Okay.
and it's just the quality of weave is just so bad. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember I was in Tuba. I was walking around through the markets, and there was this lady with like a crate of just this cheap weave in this crate, and she was selling it, and the girls were just going crazy and
Right.
just digging through it. And so my buddy, who I used to stay with when I'm in Senegal and Tuba, next door there were girls and they were putting the weave in their hair.
Right.
And I just asked, I was like, why are you putting that in your hair? Because it looks so bad. Like the quality is so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
worse
yeah.
than out
That
here.
I agree with. Yeah.
And she responded, why do you have all these tattoos on your arm? And I couldn't say anything. Like I was just like, you have a point. You somewhat
Yeah.
have a point.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on as far as the hair? I think honestly, I think the hair weave situation is worse over there than it is over here. I mean, it's
Oh
bad
yeah,
here, but I
absolutely.
think it's worse over there. Like
It
really,
is.
especially the quality. The
You're
quality is
absolutely
so
right.
bad.
Yeah, because Dinah's good weave is expensive. Like in America, you can buy 3, 4 a full head for $600 or $1,000, and people even spend more than that. I think the lowest you can get for like a full head is maybe $400, $500. Like
Right.
who has that? You know, these girls that you saw, do you think they
Uh-huh.
can afford that?
They can't, but the quality is so bad.
Because
Like it's
that's
like, oh my God.
see, this is
Like
the thing, right? As a girl who I used to wear weaves a lot in college, I haven't worn them in like 3 years. Because they don't benefit me anymore. I just you just do it because people wear it. It really never did anything for me, so I stopped wearing them. But first, the thing about this whole weave situation in Africa is, number one, the quality is bad because they can't afford the good stuff. You know, people earn like $1 a day or less. So how are they gonna afford $500? They gotta work the whole year in some cases. People would even spend that much, you know. So the bad batch, we'll get them. I mean, some of them are made in Togo and stuff. They have big factories for synthetic hair and stuff. So they're definitely gonna get the rat of it. And also, like again, I would say it's like a preference and the humidity in you've been in the African sun, haven't you?
say that one
There's
more time.
been in the African sun, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, of
the humidity.
course.
There's no way your weave is gonna stay up. I don't care how nice it is. Like it's not gonna stay up. You're always gonna have issues with it. But it's the imagery that they see. The presenters on TV all have weave. The popular girls all have weave. We have these music videos. All the girls have weaves. Like, and so you attribute being beautiful with like wearing it. You know, you attribute being like looking different to switching up your look with these girls that you've been shown who all everybody thinks is beautiful. So it's just a really like a perception thing, you know,
Mhm.
and it's an economic thing. Like they can't afford the good ones, so we just have to like do with what they have.
Because I would even say, why not do faux locks? I mean, I think personally, faux locks look better than weave. In my honest opinion.
Yeah, sure, they do. They do look nice, and they look a lot more natural than
Right,
this
exactly.
this some of these lace fronts out here. But I mean, dreadlocks in Africa is a whole other issue. Um, it's not really like accepted. You know, it may it's usually like an African lock in your hair. They would think maybe you're Rastafarian or you're rowdy or you're not cultured, or and it's shocking when I tell people that I wanted to lock my hair and I asked my dad, like, you know, because it's an African thing. I told him, I was like, I'm gonna lock my hair, and he's like, you're so educated, you're so this, why would you want to lock your hair? Like it's
Oh
so
my
like
God. Oh man.
I
I need to talk.
know.
I need to talk to your dad. I need to have a
He
conversation with
said
your dad.
like he's like and this woman, his friend, actually had locks in her hair, and I'm like, it's so beautiful, I wanted to do it. He's like, no, you can't do that, that's for people who didn't go to school. And he had the best intentions, trust me, because that's what every parent, every African parent would tell their child. Like there's this bad perception about people having locks and people doing that. So for no, I even if I was given the choice in Ghana or in anywhere in Africa to choose between wearing a weave and locking my hair, I'll probably go with a weave because it's more accepted to people, and people don't right away have like a perception of you. I don't think people even get hired for jobs in that, you know. It's a whole thing. Dreadlocks in Africa, maybe in certain parts, but from what I've seen so far, it's not really accepted.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I mean, yeah.
it's a lot, right?
It's just the quality was just so bad. I'm like, oh my God. Like I was just looking at it. I'm just like, it doesn't even look like hair. Like, I don't know what it looks like. It's just.
I know what you're talking about. Like, I can think every time, like, my sister and I had conversations, we were like, but then I understand, like, they can't afford it, one, and the humidity was just like not gonna like cooperate with you. So
In the chat room, they said we need to talk to your dad. Can you get your dad on the line? Can you get him on? Like, can you call him right now? We need to have a talk with him.
Oh no, he's burying his aunt today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he in Ghana or is he here in America?
Oh, he's in Ghana. He went to Ghana several years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your mom is here in America, or is she in Ghana?
Yes. My mom is here. She lives here. But my father left. He's not coming back. So.
Okay. What part of Ghana is he in?
He's in Accra, actually.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Cool. I can't wait till I go. So I had to get another passport.
Why?
Because they said so. When I sent my passport to the Ghanaian embassy to get my visa, I had too many pages. I mean, I didn't have enough pages.
Oh, okay. Well.
So literally, and people, in fact, people, let me share this with you right now. It's some good information. I didn't know this, so I was panicking. So I'm like, damn, I gotta get another passport. That's gonna take forever. So I went online. And, you have these sites, get your passport in one day, and they were overcharged like almost $400.
Oh, wow.
So I went to the U.S. passport page, and what you could do, you could schedule an appointment. So I scheduled an appointment. I went in there on Thursday, showed them my itinerary, told them what happened. I got my passport yesterday. So I got my passport in one day, another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So I just wanted to share that with people. So Doug says hello to your mom.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I told her not to come out today, so.
Why? Tell your mom to come out. Doug wants to speak to your mom.
I think she's hanging out with my brother right now. I don't know what you're doing, but no, she's banned from the channel.
Oh, okay. So what do we need to do to change? Because obviously, and this is not just Africans. You see this a lot in India too. Like, I'm eating my Indian food. They have the Hindi TV playing.
Right.
Like, these people look like Europeans.
Right.
What do we need to do to create, or not even create, I guess, shift towards the African beauty standard and get away from the European beauty standard? Like, what do we need to do?
I think people think we're in a post-colonial like world right now in colonized countries. It's not really post-colonial because we're still trying to prove something. We're still trying to, level up or like be certain things. The only thing that I think will work is time. To give people time to realize like the bad effects of this, and also demanding things, demanding that, because I remember in Ghana, when you watch a lot of the Hollywood and the Nollywood movies and the Ghanaian movies, you see a lot of girls who are really light skinned, who don't know how to act for anything in this world, and they just put them there because they look good on TV, they look good on on posters and stuff. And people need to demand things. You need to demand inclusivity. You need to demand other people being in there, and then we need to give it time for all these like bleaching things to start taking a toll, and then use that as advice for people that are coming up. I don't think in my lifetime I'm gonna see people who would like accept who they are, know their history, and just be themselves. I think it's gonna take time for people to really get out of that space of like the colonial mind, get away from that a bit. So I think it's only time. Only time will let this go away.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, it's been going on so long. I think with the information we have access to, we know that it's not I mean, we know, and we can study how pretty much the European beauty standard was forced on us, and then that we have our own beauty standard, but people still just don't want to. It was to the point. Listen, when I was in LA and I was pursuing my modeling and acting career, I heard Black actors say that when they go get haircuts, they couldn't get an edge up because it was too ethnic. Like stuff like that. Like, I was like, whoa.
Like, you are ethnic, for everybody can see you. This is what thing that grinds me. Like, everybody can see that you're black. Everybody can see
Right.
Like, what are you trying to prove? You know, we can see you. What are you doing?
Yeah, like they didn't want to get an edge up because it's too ethnic. I'm like, I mean, being a black man, like the edge up is like the most. Like
Your
I gotta get a
thing.
haircut. I'm getting a haircut before I leave. That's like the most important part of the cut.
I know.
Have a clean line.
You know, it's just like
But what's crazy, Nana? Like after he said that, this is probably back in like 2009, 2010.
right.
I started looking at like all the top black actors. None of them have edge ups. If you look at Denzel, he never has an edge up. You look at Samuel, he never has an edge up. If you look at all the top black actors, none of them have edge ups or lines. I thought he was just bullshit when he said that, but I literally went and looked at all the black actors, and you notice,
oh wow,
none of them have edge ups. None of them. Denzel, because it's like that's the most important part of the cut. If you're black, if you go get a haircut, and if you walk out that chair without a clean edge up, it's like, why did you go to the barber?
Wow.
Like, that's the first thing you look at is the edge up.
Yeah, so now thinking about it, he was kind of right.
Look up Denzel, look up all the top black actors.
That's kind of true.
They have edge ups. None of them have edge ups. None of them.
Wow. I mean, see, again, the same thing that I was saying. As people's incomes increase and as they like blend and kind of get into a certain like, you know, group, things that they used to do now is not civilized enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the same thing. They feel like it's too, it makes them stand out too much. Like, oh, you're too black if you do this. Or you're African and you still like use shea butter every day. It's like, oh, you're too African. You don't want to change. You don't want to evolve. Like, it's the same like logic if you look at it.
Yeah, I was shocked by that shit. Like, I literally went. I mean, you never seen Sidney Poitier with an edge up. Like, you don't see none of these black actors with a clean edge up, a clean line. None of them. And I sat back and I'm like, man, this brother is really honest.
He's like, right. Yeah.
I thought it was crazy when he said that, look, we black men cannot get edge ups in Hollywood because in fear of we were being viewed as too ethnic. And I'm like you said, well, you're black. Like, I mean,
right, I can see you.
Escape that.
Yeah.
And so then I started like really observing top A-list, B-list, C-list black actors. None of them have edge ups on lines. Yeah. I'm like, what kind? I mean, nah. So yeah.
I mean, listen, people are. Do you think that if people don't like notice that though, like they just do it because it's not a thing to do anymore? Like people just like follow whatever it is that it is right now.
No, as far as what, getting edge ups?
No, yeah, something like that, and using shea butter and like eating like African food.
Okay, let's put the shea butter to the side.
Right.
A black man, when he goes to get a haircut, he's gonna get a fresh ed lineup. Period. Right. That's the most important part of the cut.
Right.
You know that's hold on, brother said it in the chat room. Let me. Tech Nubian says black people are punching bags for mind control.
Ooh.
That's all. That's all that is. Like,
oh my goodness. Oh yeah.
Because like I said, I mean, I don't care what you use, Dove soap, freaking Nivea lotion, you're gonna get a fresh edge up. I mean, that's just. I mean, everybody gets a fresh edge up. That's the most important part of the cut. Because somebody clowns somebody's haircut, they're going after his line. Your line is too back. They fucked your line up. You know, you fuck up a line, you fuck up a haircut pretty much.
Wow.
So yeah, like I said, I thought that was weird. Doug, listen, bro, this is before they were 45, and I know Denzel Washington doesn't have a receding hairline.
No, he does not. No.
I mean, dude, and it's not even a 45 plus thing. This was a young actor who was saying that. These are young actors that I was running into Hollywood that were saying at the barbershop, at the black barbershop, saying that they cannot get an edge up because it makes them look too ethnic. I'm just like, wow, you can't get an edge up. That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, but Stephen A. Smith isn't really an actor, and then of course you got
right.
Steve Harvey. He gets a fresh edge up.
I mean, Steve Harvey has his own empire. He can do whatever
Yeah,
he wants.
yeah, and then he
Nobody's
just
hiring him. Like he can hire himself over and over again.
right. And Stephen A. was I mean not Stephen A. but Steve Harvey was a comedian too. But I'm talking
Oh, do
about
you
these
know, Dinus?
actors.
This is bringing me to something.
Go ahead.
When people are in control of their own like finances, or they're in control of their own they make their own money and don't need to answer to anybody, they're free to be themselves. Like Beyonce now. She came
Uh-huh.
up with that from affirmation. Like she doesn't need to answer to a label anymore. She doesn't need to answer to anybody. She doesn't need to. She just can be herself and say what she wants to say. So someone like Steve
Stop.
Harvey.
Hey, not to interrupt you. John Boyega, the Nigerian actor,
Oh yeah, the
he
actor.
doesn't get an edge up. That's
Oh,
another
see,
one.
he's in the Star Wars. He's in
That's
the
another one.
Star Wars. He's there. He's up there. He has to answer to people. So he needs to be in a way where he's like blending in easily. You know what I mean? I think that's what's going on. Because someone like Steve Harvey doesn't need to answer to anybody. He can do whatever he wants. He can put lines in his hair for Christ's sake. Like he doesn't have to say anything to anybody. You know.
Yeah, I just thought that was amazing to me when I saw that. I was like, what the hell? Because I'm in corporate America and we rock edge up like crazy. So I'm like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
just noticed black people have it tougher in Hollywood than corporate America. Like I'm like, oh my God, what you guys have to subject yourself to.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And I think black people we face a lot of um adversity sometimes when it comes
And I
to
feel like we do
America.
it to ourselves too, Diners. We really do it to our own selves. Like if it was something that we were doing and everybody was like doing anyway, I don't think anybody's gonna have a problem with it. It's like girls and I have to go back to girls and natural hair. Like I was like googling professional hairstyles for natural hair because now it's a whole thing in corporate America that you can't wear natural hair to work or something. But I did, and nobody ever said anything to me. But then it people like the other black girls who would have an issue with it. They'll be like, "Oh, your hair is not clean. It's not this." It's not other people who are not like, they don't have a problem with it. We do it to ourselves. We do it to our own selves. Like the situation in South Africa where the students were sent home for their hair.
Right.
It was a South African head mistress who told them to go home. You
So
know?
a black lady.
Yes. I was thinking it was a white person because I was like following the story and I was like, oh, maybe this is a white South African who is doing that. That would make more sense to me. You know,
Right.
Sitting on the board, the person in charge was a black person. And the teachers were not black, but the person in charge was a black person. So I'm like, why are we not talking about her and what she did? Like, but everybody has this image in their mind that it was a white person. But when I was following the story and looking at the parents' reaction on the videos, I'm like, this woman, she won't come to the camera, she won't talk to anybody, but you hear her name and you're like, this person is a black person. So we're doing it to ourselves. We're like oppressing ourselves. We're forcing each other to conform to these things that are not us. We're like nobody from no external sources like putting so much pressure on us. Yeah, of course, like there are like things that there are factors that come in when you want to appeal to a certain crowd of people, but for the most part I find it that we're doing it to ourselves you know
Yeah, that's crazy. That like I said, that right there really blew me away when I noticed that.
yeah.
Let's see what we got in the chat room. Um, like I said, the brother made that one point. Listen, until we start doing our own content, then they're going to set the standard. Period. Exactly.
True.
You're right about that. Dinus, that's not crazy. That's by design. Our people are sick to the last cells of the brains. We are in a state of paralysis. Paralysis. So I said that right. Um, yeah, man. Let's see. After that, it's just interesting how a lot of people just are scared to be themselves, you know. And I
Yeah,
think to a point we all somewhat conform,
of
but
course,
yeah, it's just
absolutely.
you still
Yeah,
have your dignity though, and I think a lot of us compromise our dignity just to fit in.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, we're not really old diners. I literally like posted a video last night on my channel about like why Africa is still the way it is. We're very young. You know, the countries that we have. Like I mean, Ghana just turned 60 this year. You know, we're still young. We're it's like we have to relearn everything over again. We have to learn about ourselves. We need to learn about the space that we're occupying. We need to learn
mhm.
about the way things are the way they are. You know, why our names are even the way they are. I mean, I remember growing up and people would like ask me what's my English name or my Christian name is what they say. What's your
Yeah, you're
Christian
Christian
name?
there.
And I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't have one. And they're like, what do you mean you don't have one? So teachers in school will make up one for me. You know, these teachers in school will make up one for me, and my you know, kids are stupid. Kids kids will laugh at me, and because I think I was like maybe my best friend and I were the only ones who had like pure Ghanaian names with no, you know, and people will laugh. But now people name their kids all sort of grandiose, like five word African names, and you know, people are coming into. It's gonna take time. It's as we progress, we're gonna like know. You know, now we have a lot of young folks who are also like looking into African traditional religion, and you know, like they're realizing things, and they're, you know, they're all coming into their own. The only thing that can get rid of this problem is time. You know, as time goes on, things are I hope I can see it. I hope things will get better. You know,
Another, you brought up the whole name thing. So wait, what was your Christian name if you had
I
one?
never ever had one.
Okay.
My mother told me that my father. So the thing. Okay, so now we're gonna get into something a whole right now that we're gonna dig in. I hope everybody in Africa, right? Women, Akan women, right? In Ghana, let me just say, Akan women, limited to my tribe. Akan women have their own last names. Like we don't traditionally, we don't take like our father's names. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
we have to, and usually it's like an extension of your father's name. Like my father's last name is Asante, right?
Hmm.
And so the female for that will be Asantua, which is my last name. You know, so I don't have his name. I have like an extension of his name. So when I came, my mother wanted to give me an English name. I think some some English name. I thank God he said no. And he said, no, we're gonna give her a name. He's like, this is what my mother she said. She said she came with her own name, right? Which
Hmm.
is the thing that Africans do. They name you after the circumstances in which you were born. So you have people who are named like after the day they were born, like I am. Like my middle name is Ajua. It's a girl born on Monday. So I was born on a Monday. I came with my own name, and then they added the last name that my father made up for me and my sister. You know, so I came with my own name. I don't need you to conjure a name from the sky and give it to me. Like I came with my own name. And the Nana is not a name, actually, it's a title for
Right.
like a queen or a king or someone who has authority. So they added that to it, and that's how I got my whole name. So people are usually like traditionally people were named after the days they came, how their labor was and things like that, you know, or maybe the money in the family or the poverty in the family or the war or something. So I never had one of those. And people would usually ask what it was. And when I was growing up, that was crazy that I didn't have a Christian name. You know, it was that time where Ghana was becoming like so religious and people were having Pentecostal churches and all of that. So it was like it was a time. These days it's changed, but back then I remember it was not a good day for me. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought it was because I run into a lot of, especially Ethiopians, man. They have a proper like American westernized Christian name.
Right.
And it's just, I just thought it was funny. And then every time I run into, you know, an African with like a very, very Europeanized name, I always ask, what's your African name? You know,
Yeah.
so, and then they
I
end
mean,
up telling it to me.
Ethiopians love to say they weren't colonized, but I feel like they're the most westernized country in Africa.
I disagree. South Africa by far is the most.
Oh, I feel like you have a problem with South Africa.
I don't. But South Africa by far is the most.
Really? Well, I haven't.
Have you been to South Africa?
No, oh yeah, I have. Ooh, that was years ago.
By far, South Africa.
I don't remember. I don't remember it for what for what it is now though. I don't remember it like that.
Yeah, South Africa by far is the most westernized country.
Really?
Oh yeah, by far.
I mean, there's this guy that I also interviewed for the magazine. His name is Dinaris, but he's called Travel and Truth.
Okay.
You can look it up. He's also like, he lives in Atlanta and he does what you do. Like, he goes to African countries all the time, all around. He was also telling me about how it was in South Africa and how it was in Zambia, I think. That they were a little more like, he was like, they look like New York is what he was trying to like explain to me. Yeah. I see. Well,
yeah, South Africa is definitely America. I look, when I went to South Africa, it just reminded me of Atlanta. I mean,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing because it's Africa.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's Africa. I mean, I thought it was a bad thing, but it's worse because, you know, the black South Africans don't control anything.
Right.
So at least here in Atlanta, I mean, you have a lot of
black people, yeah,
that actually own or control somewhat the economy or play a role in it. In South Africa.
Yeah, but then it brings us back to the issue of time, Dinus, because apartheid like ended in what, 92, something like that. 25 years is not a long time for them to like absolutely recover from, you know, from that bad period that they had. It's not enough time. So again, I just hope with time people realize these like injustices or these imbalances and trying to, you know, correct them as we go, but who knows what's gonna happen.
Hey, Mike, what am I lying about? You said the host is lying. What am I lying about? About South Africa being recognized?
South Africa?
Black people do not control the government in South Africa. That is not true.
That is not true. I mean, everybody knows that. Come on.
Mike, I mean, they're in power. I mean, you might see a lot of black faces in power, but that's not true. Foreign interests and white people run South Africa.
They say 90% of the economy is controlled by the Dutch, the South African Dutch.
Yeah, I mean, if you control the economy, who cares who's in power at the government, on a government level? It doesn't matter. I mean, they don't control the land, they don't control the economy. I mean, so you have a black president.
I wonder if there's a colorism problem in South Africa, though. I wouldn't know that.
I don't know if it's as bad, but like I said, America's the only place that uses the one drop rule. Everywhere else, it's all.
Oh, for sure, yes.
It's all you're colored or you're mixed or you're mulatto. So.
Yeah. We're all of these things that Americans also don't like saying. Like, they don't use those words anymore. You know, but I mean, I just feel like people need to give people they don't need to box them into a box and make it, you know, they're different, they're mixed, it's fine, let them be mixed. It's like, no, it's not as if they chose to be, they just are, you know. I don't know why it's such a big deal for, maybe someone can give us an explanation that we both don't understand, but I don't think it's a thing.
Yeah. Rated J, Atlanta is becoming more white. You know, of course, every major city is going through gentrification, but in Atlanta it's different. And I'll do a video on that, how I believe personally there's no such thing as gentrification in Atlanta. And we're probably going to have a white mayor here in December.
After Kasim?
Well, Kasim is out. He's about to be out. His term is up.
His term is up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came to Atlanta last year, and I
Mhm.
have never seen a mayor of any place put his poster up like Kasim Reed. I was like, what
Yeah,
is going on here? Like, does he own the place? So maybe
yeah.
he's
But I
looking
mean,
for someone who's not pompous to come take over and do something. I don't know.
yeah. My opinion on him isn't the best. So
Yeah,
you
I
know,
can imagine. I was there for a few days. I already felt it. I'm like, this mayor is really like, wow.
yeah. So Atlanta, more than likely, Atlanta's going to have a white mayor come November or December
Yeah.
because they have a runoff. So basically, the first round of voting is starting now. And
Okay.
then once you reach a certain percentage of the votes, I think it's like I forgot if you get like 15 or 20%.
50. Oh, okay.
Yeah, then you have a runoff. And so right now it's looking like it's going to be Mary Norwood and what's this lady's name? I can't think of her name. I think her name is Kimberly. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Keisha Bottoms, I think. Keisha.
Okay.
I mean, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. That's her name. Keisha Lance Bottoms. So it's looking like it's going to be between her and Mary Norwood. But I mean,
Hey.
Mary Norwood has a shot,
Okay.
and I mean, really, it's really, I would say, the leadership of Atlanta. It's their fault. I mean, because instead of finding solutions to gentrification in
Mm-hmm.
regards to not displacing people and sending them outside of the city,
Right.
they just ship them outside the city. So instead of building, providing some type of resources, providing jobs, providing affordable housing, now of course, we have somewhat of a crime issue, so you have to deal with that as well. Instead of doing all that, they just ship them
Take
out of
them
the
out.
city. So
Yeah.
then
I mean,
now they're complaining that, oh well, we're about to have a white mayor, and I'm like, well, all your black votes you shipped out.
hey.
So
I mean, here's some of my views that I really don't even share because people, it may come off as a bit radical, but I don't really see gentrification as a problem. It's what happens when it's happening that is a problem. You know, every neighborhood in the history of the world, all over the world, a point in time, there are people that move in and you're pushed out, move in, pushed out. It's been happening for a long time. It depends on what you do when it's happening. If you gentrify the area to make it better, and the people, can they afford it? Are you making sure the people who are there can keep living there? If they can't, are you making sure they're not, like you said, are you pushing them out? That's not a solution. I don't see gentrification as a terrible thing like the way people make it seem. Some neighborhoods need to get gentrified. Some neighborhoods absolutely need to. Like, it's like some, if people go to like Detroit, some right now in certain areas that have been abandoned and they want to gentrify it, I'm cool with that. It will bring so many things, but are the people that are going to be able to afford it is the thing right now, you know.
no, and that's the thing. Like, instead of, I would say, black people building up these neighborhoods,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't see the value of them, and I guess the black wealth and people that are black with resources, they left. And these neighborhoods deteriorated. Then white people came in and saw the value in these neighborhoods, and you got to think about it. In these old neighborhoods, you have these beautiful Victorian and craftsman houses
Right.
that were just abandoned and looking like
Right.
crap. And white people came in and, hey, I mean, we'll
Oh,
renovate
build
them.
it, and yeah. I
And
mean,
when that happened, they brought their coffee shops and
and their artisanal sodas and all of
farm
that.
to table restaurants.
Gentrified granola bars and couscous wrap. Listen,
Yeah.
that's what they do. But even a situation in Ghana right now that I was like looking online because I'm trying to like get a place out there, and I'm looking at the rent, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like astronomical. Like, who can afford this?
Uh,
But the land is just
from
sitting
my understanding,
there.
Aqua is pretty expensive right now.
Yes, the land was just sitting there. And the Ghanaian developers, instead of putting nice story buildings in place. They were building these little detached and semi-detached houses, and people were like not like digging it. And now we have what's the name, Casa Chisaco, some Italian company who is building houses, and the rent is like $10,000 a month. The cheapest one is like $5,000 a month for a 1 bedroom in Accra, and it's filled up. Okay, it's filled up. They have only a few units available. It should tell you like you missed the opportunity. You missed the opportunity to build things that people can actually afford. And now you waited for an European man and his family, and other people are now coming in. Other people are now coming in to build these houses and put up for rent because you missed the opportunity. It's like the same thing. It's like mirroring itself in a way, but that's why our people don't do things that we can afford. And when they have the opportunity to do it, they choose not to do it or do something else with their money. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with the coffee shops and naming South Harlem Soha, instead of like, right, calling it Soha now. South Harlem is Soha, and all the artisanal, how do you call it, coffees and sodas and, graphic builds burgers. And I'm telling you, the names are ridiculous. I find it funny, but I understand it because you don't want to do it. The people who can won't do it, so someone has to.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's see if we got any more questions in the chat room, and then
sure.
I'll let you go ahead and close out.
Right.
But I mean, take your time because my son's soccer got canceled today.
Oh man.
It's supposed to rain, so his soccer practice or game was canceled. So any questions in the chat room?
Yeah, people are up early. That's really good.
Oh yeah. I think some. I know for a fact Doug doesn't sleep. Doug, you don't sleep, do you? Doug, I know you don't sleep because I know you were probably on O'Shea's chat, and I know he goes super late. I know he gets started like at midnight.
Oh wow!
But Doug, I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Doug's one of the moderators.
Oh, okay.
Are you looking to relocate to Africa, Dynas? I would probably have a home in Africa and a home here in America. Doug, thank you for the support, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, Doug doesn't sleep. So yeah, I would be back and forth. Let's see here. What else we got here? But now, go ahead and close out. Share with people how to get in contact with you, your brand, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I have, based on our conversation last week, I started bringing back my videos and not deleting them because of whatever reason. So you can go to my channel, Nana Ashanti, on YouTube. I'm going to have a new video up in an hour, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Saturday, you can catch me there. And there are a whole lot of goodies on there for you. So you can go out there and check it. And on Instagram, Nana Ashanti blog, Twitter, Nana Ashanti blog, and on Facebook, Nana Ashanti. I have a page, so you can follow that. Yeah, I guess that. And my blog, www.nanaashanti.com.
All right, perfect.
Also.
All right, and I'm Dynas Amir. You guys know who I am. If not, if you're new to the stream, please subscribe to my page. Search for Huru. Please share the videos. Please like the videos. Also, look for search for Huru. Search for Huru. All one word. Search for Huru. That's my tag name on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, go to dynasamir.com. Go to searchforhuru.com. And then also go to Amazon.com, search your name, Dynas Amir. Please buy a book. And none of the books are in print yet. There's just
I noticed that.
But I'm working on that. I'm actually gonna be. That's a project that I'm gonna be working on. Probably
you should, because that would be great. That would be
everybody's requesting it, so yeah, I need to go ahead. I was thinking it was gonna shift to where everybody would prefer to read their books online or on some type of device.
I'm stacking the rest now. The leftovers are right here. The rest are under my bed. Like I have to see them physically. Like
right, and that's how people. And I'm the same way. but I
Yeah.
was thinking it was going to shift towards everything being electronic.
On
But
E. Yeah.
so yeah,
You're ahead of your age.
exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that early next year or late into this year that everything gets converted over to print, so people can actually have physical copies that they can hold. To Angola, I will be going to Angola. I don't know, but I will
Oh
be
my
close
God,
to
you're going to
Angola.
Angola?
Who, me? I haven't been, but I would love to go.
Oh, okay. I think you said you were going to Angola. I'm like, ooh, can I tag?
But I'm going to Namibia either in May or sometime in the next year, and I know Namibia borders Angola.
I'm gonna be in
So,
Ghana all next year. So when you do get around, let me know.
oh, you're going back to Ghana?
Yeah, I'm gonna be for a while. Yeah.
Okay, when are you going?
I'm gonna go next January though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long are you gonna stay?
Until I have to move.
Are
But
you?
yeah, but I'm looking like it's gonna be several months though. So when you do come around, let me know. Maybe I'll tag along. Yeah.
Okay. What so when you go, like what are you gonna do?
Well, my father has a school. He's
Okay.
like getting overwhelmed with like the kids and stuff. So I just try and like, make it easier and find a system for him that he can follow. Or just like let him find something to do and I'll take over, but it's not decided yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have have fun. Have fun. I'm looking forward to going end of this month. No, it's not November yet, but end of November.
Yeah, it's October. So you be going in November, right?
Yeah, I leave Thanksgiving Day. In fact,
Okay.
I
Oh,
arrive
cool.
in Ghana on Thanksgiving Day. One of the two.
If
So
you need anything, let me know. I have like people everywhere. So whatever you
okay.
need, let me know.
All right. So Rated RJ has a question. So which could be the next major black city if we lose Atlanta? I'm guessing. Ooh, that's a good question. Jackson, Mississippi, maybe.
Mississippi.
I mean, that's the only I can think of. Jackson. Uh,
Definitely not. Malcolm, she's here finally. She didn't stay away. I don't know why you do this.
Hi.
What's your mama? We want to say hello. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
I'll be up there next week.
Okay.
Hey, do you know how to cook chofi? You cook chofi?
No, she does not cook.
Oh, we don't have chopping here.
I found a place where you get it here in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Okay. Watching
So
is here.
it's not
If only
healthy.
you like
Oh
watching.
my God. No,
Yeah.
he does not like watching.
I haven't had that yet. I haven't
It's
had
rice and
Right.
peas, with like a different twist, I guess.
Yes.
because people keep saying when I eat my okra soup, I need to eat it with that.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. That's a weird combination though, but okay.
But that's what people keep saying. So I was like, okay, all right, I guess I'll try it.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so
Bye, Ma.
Bye.
that's awesome.
All right.
All right, well, hey, I appreciate it, guys.
More
Thank you
questions,
for
so we're good. Okay.
people in the chat room. Thank you for coming on early this morning, Nana. Thank you again. Till next time, peace.
Right. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.